Ross with the John Ross Show. Today we're doing a little pre-taping here, or pre-recording, I should say. It's a little above 60 outside right now, but by 5 when we show this, it'll be about 59. So today we're going to interview with Democratic candidate for Kane County Sheriff, Salvador Rodriguez. And Sal's going to be with us in a moment here. I'm going to take this little thing down here that I got here, and we'll get him up here. And I met Sal at a League of Women Voters uh, forum that they had in Batavia about 10 days ago now. So here comes Sal. Here he comes. I hope. There he is. Good to have you, Sal.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we're just going to go through some basics here of the campaign here in Kane County. One of the growing counties in the state, I would say, if
Yes.
we're doing. And the Democrat, I'll for those out there who don't want me to be partisan, but I am sometimes. So I lean Democratic, and so Sal is and the other candidate are my candidates, and we're going to give Sal a chance to show why he wants to be our next sheriff. And King County, like I said, is a growing county, and it's an important county in our state.
Yes.
And Sal, Salvador, you were a former, you've been a lieutenant in the King County Sheriff's Office, right? Correct?
That's correct.
Yes. And why don't you give me a little about your background? I know you are from Aurora and I did meet Sal's wife. I think that's Chris, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I
Yes.
met her after that forum the other night. So why don't you just give
She's
us
part
a
of Team
little,
Rodriguez, but
what was that now?
she's part of Team Rodriguez.
I know she is.
Yes.
I want just give me a little about your background, and maybe you can also go into why you're running.
Absolutely. So I am Salvador Rodriguez. I'm running for Kane County Sheriff because Kane County deserves a leadership rooted in real community involvement. When the community and law enforcement stand together, we prevent crime, we solve issues, and we make our neighborhood stronger. When trouble comes, the community will trust us to stand with them and help. Together, we can make Kane County safer for each and every one of us. Uh, I grew up in Aurora and attended Aurora Public Schools. I earned my bachelor's and my master's degree from Aurora University, where I later served as adjunct professor. My wife and I have two adult children. Our daughter Elisa, who is an educator with the Chicago Public Schools, CPS, and our son Lance, who works for a large insurance company. I bring nearly 30 years of dedicated law enforcement experience and leadership, having risen through the ranks and concluding my career as a lieutenant. I am a lifelong Democrat with a proven voting record that reflects and supports my values. I am currently a member of the Western Kane Dems with Heidi, our leader, and I'm a Democratic precinct committeeman. I'm running to bring a new direction to the sheriff's office, one that prioritizes building strong relationships with all communities, something I have focused on throughout my entire career. I'm also committed to being fiscally responsible, something that we haven't been doing at the sheriff's office, who respects and safeguards taxpayers' money. I want to be sheriff because I deeply believe in serving this community with integrity, fairness, and accountability. After more than 3 decades in law enforcement, I have seen the difference strong ethical leadership makes. And I've seen the harm caused when trust is broken or voices go unheard. I want to lead a sheriff's office that treats everyone with dignity, respect, supports its deputies and corrections officers, and truly partners with the community to prevent crime before it happens. This isn't about politics or power, it's about responsibility. I'm running because Kane County deserves a sheriff who shows up, listens, leads by example, and puts people first. I want to restore confidence in the sheriff's office, strengthen public safety, and ensure the sheriff's office is truly from the community for the community. I've been on this campaign trail since June of 24, building relationships, real relationships, listening to people's concerns, and fighting for every vote because this community matters to me. My commitment to Kane County didn't start with this campaign. It's been a lifelong dedication to service. Thank you.
Yeah. So you went to East schools, West schools? Where you go?
So I graduated from West. Well, when we came here from uh, back up a little bit, I was born in Texas, and my mother and my father worked the fields of Texas and the factories of Nebraska and Illinois. So I know the value of hard work. I followed their example my entire life. Um, so when we moved here, it was on the east side of
Oh, you're
Aurora.
an East
So
Sider. Okay.
yeah, so I went to a preschool at on the east side, and then we went to the west side. So that's where I went to grade school, middle school, and high school on the west side. So I graduated
Oh,
from East
so
Aurora
you
High
got a
School.
little on both sides.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. You're across the divide of East and West in Aurora.
Yes, yes. We lived on Rosewood on the east side of Aurora for a little bit.
Okay.
Eight brothers and sisters, and my mom and dad. A
Okay.
lot.
I go to church on the east side called First Presbyterian, and
Oh, okay.
more downtown area. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to ask about how many, I guess we call them deputies, how many officers and personnel are there in the King County Sheriff's Office at this time, would you say?
There's approximately 94 deputies on the public safety side. I believe 115, 120 in corrections, and I believe about 50 in court security. Unfortunately, I started back in 1995, and the same number of patrol deputies that we had then,
Okay.
we have now. Absolutely unacceptable because of the population from 95 to now has
Right.
exploded. And just the fact that we still have the same deputies, the number, unacceptable, and I will change that as sheriff.
Now, do you have sheriff? I guess we call them. I think they have this in Kindle, maybe substations. Does Kane have any of that type of thing? Substations for the
Not
sheriff?
enough. Not enough. So one of the things that I want to do as sheriff is to focus on unincorporated Kane County, something that we've fallen away from. There's no
Right.
reason for deputies to be patrolling within cities when Aurora and Elgin and Carpentersville and all these cities have their own police departments to focus on their
Right. Hmm.
population.
Hmm.
So we should be focusing on our population, which is unincorporated. So one of the things that I have been talking about is creating more substations, especially out west near Hampshire, Burlington, Big Rock, Elburn, up in Huntley, Lake Marion, up in Carpentersville. Because if when we're stationed there, then we get to know the community more, right?
Right.
We get to rub elbows and get to learn or get to know the local police departments, the small police departments, because we're the bigger department. We can help them with resources, manpower. So one of the things that I am going to do is definitely get more substations and not only are we building relationships, but we're reducing response times. When you're going from the east side of Aurora to Big Rock in a 911 call, 10, 15-minute ETA is unacceptable. So we will get the deputies out to stay out in Big Rock and out west uh,
Right.
so we can reduce response time, we can be visible, so we can prevent crime, and we build relationships. And when we do that, everybody is safer in Kane County.
Is is the budget a problem with the do we need an expanded budget, and how would you do that? I don't know all the ins and outs of county government, but I assume a budget is important.
Absolutely. The years that is always a problem every year at the county because the budget is over and over and over. I believe in 2024, 2.3 million over in corrections, 1.9 in public safety, and nearly a million in court security. Unacceptable. unacceptable. I, as sheriff, will be a responsible, fiscally responsible sheriff. I will not go to the county board for more money, more deputies, until I get everything in order. And I am the only one that will do that.
Okay. Okay. Um, a topic out there that's come up, and I don't know, the county maybe has been involved with some local police departments, but I know it's involved with the jail segment of it about immigration and
Sure.
the state's well, I guess we call it the Trust Act and the Way Forward Act. I looked that up about how the state has set guidelines on that situation, and what's your thoughts about immigration? And we just had I want to call it a minor incident there in Aurora
Sure.
with the police and some students. I don't know the whole story there.
Yeah.
It got carried away on both sides, I think, my opinion.
Okay.
But but we don't want that.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right.
so, what's your thoughts on our immigration situation in Kane County?
Sure. I've been the only one to come out and take a stand on this. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will not cooperate with ICE in immigration enforcement. Public safety depends on trust, and I will protect the rights of all residents under Illinois law. Under Illinois law, I will not participate in abusive tactics that will undermine human rights, conduct that should concern law enforcement leaders throughout the nation. De-escalation, de-escalation. I have never engaged in those behaviors during my law enforcement career, and I will not tolerate that as sheriff. A dark cloud currently hangs over the sheriff's office, and I am committed to restoring integrity, professionalism, and trust. The sheriff's office must remain focused solely on serving and protecting Kane County residents and ensuring the safety and dignity of those held at the Kane County Jail. I truly believe that, and I will stand by that.
Now, my understanding of the law here, this Trust Act and the Forward Act about incarcerated, non-documented people in jail would be that if there's a judicial warrant, not just a uh,
And
ICE warrant or whatever
right,
they call it,
right,
that
right.
then you would be cooperating, and if they ask for this person, that's a federal warrant, in other words.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will abide by all laws, all laws. If there's a judicial warrant that needs to be affected, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah. But there's been other types of warrants. I guess we call them, I forgot what the word,
Yeah,
but
detainers and more
they're
of
from
civil.
ICE orientation, not a court, not from with a magistrate and a judge, I
Right.
guess, right?
Right. So anything that is, like I, had indicated, a judicial warrant, we will enforce that. Anything else, I'm just going to follow the law, and
Right,
no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I will instruct our corrections officers, anybody at the sheriff's office, that we are going to abide by the law. It's as simple as that.
right. Well, I think that's very important because
Yes.
I think, I don't know, but where this is going in the federal side, but it seems like there might be some comeback here
Sure.
in the area. And I hope it's all in a proper way, but I'm not so sure about that from the past.
Right.
That
Yeah.
they might come back here in a forced way because they got a lot of money. And
Yes.
so,
Absolutely.
so it's going to be an issue for all our policing
Yes.
in our state, in our counties,
Absolutely.
local, and your work with the jail there too, and just everything. Yeah,
And that's why it makes it so important to get a strong leader that is not going to waver to pressure from the federal government. And I am that person.
Yeah, that's very good. Um, Now, we mentioned that the size of the sheriff's department has been sort of static over the years, pretty steady. It seems like not much of an increase or anything with our increased population. I don't know what the rural census is, but I assume that that is still high too, like the cities. So I assume everywhere is more, and I would assume the area, I don't know about that because some places have been incorporated since, like
That's
Campton would be one.
That's correct. But the thing is that Aurora has grown in population and in officer numbers. Same with Elgin, all police departments, but we haven't, and I understand that. And I'm not going to ask for more personnel until I get everything in order. And once I get that in order, then I will go to the county board to say this is what we need, because it's unbelievable, it's unacceptable for the amount of deputies that we have on patrol in unincorporated Kane County. Unacceptable, and I will increase that once we get our deputies reassigned to be an unincorporated Kane County.
Yeah, yeah, unincorporated. Where my parents, my dad had a farm, and parents had a farm there on Owasco. I think most of that
Yeah.
got incorporated with
Yes.
Campton. I,
Yeah, I remember the days when that was all unincorporated. I remember the days before Pingree Grove, before Campton Hills Incorporated. So we patrolled all that for years and years. So um, yeah, and that's where I am. I see that we need to focus on unincorporated. We need to help our smaller departments and make everybody safer.
yeah, well, that's very important to make our county safe.
Absolutely.
And you work with the jail. That's an interesting thing too. I think that's somewhat forgotten with the sheriff. I
Absolutely.
I know that in Cook County, that guy's got the biggest, anyway, it's a
Yes.
big jail system. And
Yes.
uh, I want to ask, maybe it's sort of a off the Cook County thing, but I remember the guy that I think it's Dart still, right? Still,
Yes. Yeah.
he was big on mental health in the jail.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
how do you feel about that in our jails and what those type of services? What can we? Is there some helps are that are needed, or what would you say on that?
So, the jail, and this is one of the things that I want to first address is let's get everything up in because we can't do um, what's the word I'm looking for? So we can't help those if we can't first help ourselves. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I want to focus on is morale is really low in the jail.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
one of the things why it's so low, and this is why one of the things that I am going to first do is overtime is absolutely unacceptable. It's out of control. So in 2023, 2024, and 2025, corrections officers so for each year over 800 times corrections officers were mandated to stay 4 to 6 hours after their 8-hour shift.
Right.
Unacceptable. And I've heard people say, well, it's so fluid in there that you can't always you know
Hmm.
staff or staff because of that. I get it, but after the first and second year, you need to do something. I will head I will address that head on. Because when you're taking a mental and a physical toll on our corrections officers, and that is a tough job,
Right.
then we're putting everybody at risk, not only our own officers, but also those who we hold in the
Right.
county jail. So that's the first thing that I will do is I will address because minimum staffing was reduced. So now we have a corrections officer watching 2 pods instead of one officer per
Okay.
pod. Unacceptable because not only is that putting our corrections officer more at risk, but also our detainees, and especially if somebody is like on suicide watch and no one's able to watch them. unacceptable. So, kind of going back to that, I will address the lack of manpower because that's almost 70 times a month. A corrections officer is being told, you can't go home, you got to stay. That's
Right.
unacceptable. And another thing that unfortunately has occurred, that Corey Dixon and Judy Dawson, they were the head of the reentry program for our detainees. So those that were incarcerated, because we always want to break that vicious cycle of incarceration. So they headed those programs, the job training, the drug treatment. Um, they were let go for budgetary reasons in December, and
Really?
everything's put on hold. Unacceptable, because they were saying manpower. But then after that,
Hmm.
jobs were being handed out to others and hired, and things of that nature. I'm not going to be political. I want to be responsible and do what's right, because that vicious cycle of incarceration, we need to keep breaking that. But I also believe that we need to focus in our youth, invest in our youth, especially the high risk and the underserved. So that is, the programs that I'm going to do when I become sheriff. And it's unacceptable what's going on about the budget, because they're playing with that, and I will not play with that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for some of these thoughts here that we've talked about, and it's a job that I I am just happy that we have quality candidates like you to run and
Thank
for
you.
this office, and we need all hands on deck, and I'm thankful that you're willing to do that.
Thank
And
you so much.
so I just wanted to say thank you. You got any other closing thoughts you want to give us?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've been doing, and I'm on Facebook, Friends for Rodriguez 2026. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos. And it's not because I'm campaigning, because I've been doing this back from 2015, 16, where I would do motivational speaking at East Aurora High for the
We're back from our little glitch. Maybe it wasn't little, but it sort of was like, whoop, we're disappeared. Sorry about that. So our guest today, Salvador Rodriguez, Sal is going to give us a little more on a closing, more of a closing time here. So
Yeah.
here's Sal, and we're back on the stream here.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. And one of the big uh, uh, foundations for my campaign is being in the community. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm a proud member of the Rotary Club of Aurora United, the Elgin Hispanic Network. My wife and I have long been active with the Kane County Democratic Women Organization and the Illinois Tejano Association. I volunteer at the Marie Wilkinson Food Pantry, supporting both the East Aurora High School site and the Elderly Home Deliveries Program. I also serve as a rally marshal with We Can Lead Change and stay engaged with the United Restore Aurora's War II with Wani Garza community group. Yeah, and I am deeply
I
committed.
know her. Go on.
Yeah, and I'm deeply committed in our youth through Real Men, Real Talk. Thank you, Darnell. Boys and Girls Club of North Central Illinois. Thank you, Cedric. Scouting America's Three Fires Council. Thank you, Len from St. Charles. Beyond that, I donate, participate in the community efforts, including Chicago Public Schools, where our daughter teaches. On the south side, the Aurora Interfaith Food Pantry, the Salvation Army of Aurora and Elgin, the Anderson Humane Walk for Animals, the Elgin Crop Walk, Hunger Walk, Elgin's Domestic Violence Awareness Walks, and the Markland Run, Walk and Roll. One other thing that I want to point out that makes me different from anyone in this race. I spent nearly 10 years as a sergeant, more time in frontline police supervision than any candidate, Democrat or Republican combined. During that time, I supervised and led deputies in real-world, real-time environments, where a supervisor is responsible for the entire shift. That includes budgeting, scheduling, administrating discipline, and making split-second decisions in the field and active scenes. This is where true leadership and sound decision-making are developed through experience, accountability, responsibility in dynamic situations.
Well, now you're back. I'm not touching it either, so now I gotta find you here. I know you're almost
Okay.
done.
And if I can finish
I'll
that.
get you back. We're gonna
Okay.
get Saul.
There we
There
go.
he's back. I
There
don't
we
know
go.
what happened. This is strike two. Maybe one more will
And
be.
yeah,
I
and
don't
I
like
actually put my
this is
hands up
not
like, hey,
good.
look, no hands. But
I'm not touching.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
You probably lost your train of thought.
Oh
Get
no,
your train back.
I'm right where I
You
left
got
off.
your train back? Okay.
Yes.
Go
Just let
right
me know.
ahead, Saul.
Oh, okay. This is where true leadership and sound decision making are developed through experience, accountability, and responsibility in dynamic situations, not by reading textbooks or working behind the scenes. For example, in the military, no one is promoted from private to lieutenant general without gaining experience at every level along the way. Experience learned by rising through the ranks. That is exactly what I've done. I am the only candidate with that experience in leadership. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Saul, for putting up with this last minute glitches. I don't know how we got the glitches. We'll just say they came.
Yeah, I truly appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah, we'll try to pull this together
Yeah,
in a good way. I'll
absolutely.
be working on it here. Uh, so we thank candidate Salvador Rodriguez. That's on the Democratic ballot. Remember, you can vote by mail, early voting, or on the day there, and that's November, March. Got myself March 17th. Yeah,
Yes.
17th, and that's just coming around the corner. And so Sal's on the Democratic candidate for sheriff of Kane County. So we thank Sal for being with us and putting up with this streaming problem. We're streamed here, and he's eager to get back on the campaign trail, and he's still smiling after all this. I think that's pretty good. So thank
Thank
you
you.
for being with us, Sal.
Thank you so much. You're too kind, and let's get it over and get to the promised land.
Okay. God bless you all, and we'll see you then, the crowd on Wednesday at 5. So we're going to be working on a little editing here. So thank you very much, Saul, for being with us this afternoon. God bless. Bye-bye. Well, that's